Speaker.
I call also war.
Tēnā koe te māngai o te whare, tēnā tātou katoa. Ngā mihi marama, tēnā tautoko e hoa. I really want to start actually with some information from a Cabinet Office November 2004 document that's titled New Zealand's Constitution, Past, Present and Future. Paragraph 6 of that particular document says that New Zealand is one of only 3 countries in the world without a full and entrenched written constitution. The others are Britain and Israel. And what it says is that the law in our country is sourced from the following: the Queen, various statutes with constitutional significance. They include the Constitution Act, the Electoral Act, the New Zealand Bill of Rights Act, and also the Magna Carta. It also says that the courts and the Treaty of Waitangi form New Zealand's constitution. Now, I bring that up because the interesting point to raise after Minister Finlayson's comment is based on the fact that the law is something that we all swear to, and that includes the treaty. Well, it actually also includes the Queen, and we do swear allegiance to the Queen. And therein begins the beginning of my, assessment of this piece of legislation. So in 1957, the Oaths and Declaration Act was created. It was the act that thereby gave us as office holders the words to say when we were elected to certain offices. And 48 years later, so on the 17th of May 2005, we actually decided to review it. The minister at that time was Phil Goff. He was the Minister of Justice. And we did that through the Oaths Modernisation Bill because we thought it was about time that we modernised that piece of legislation. What did that result in? It actually resulted in the affirmation. What else did that result in? It resulted in the use of te reo. So now when we come into this House at the beginning of each term, we can say the oath or the affirmation in English or in Māori. And so an interesting thing that happened during that process was we actually did have a discussion document and we did ask the public. And the public did feedback, and they said that yes, we wanted to keep reference to the Queen, that yes, we wanted to keep reference to religious belief. So some of us do say, "So help me God," after we say the oath. And that's great, that's fine. So to say that the oath doesn't evolve or it doesn't reflect society is actually completely incorrect. And what is an oath? Let's get to definitions. An oath is a solemn promise. And it's also a commitment to one's future action or behaviour. That's what an oath is. That's what we all swear when we come into this wonderful institution that we're all so privileged to represent. We're here for the people of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And all we ask, and I think all they ask of us, is that we evolve with society. And I think that the proposition of this piece of legislation is something that merits support at first reading. I really do. Things that have been brought up, we can fix them. That's what the Select Committee process is all about. And I actually think we're completely undermining this institution by not supporting this piece of legislation. But the interesting thing, if you look back to 2005, guess who voted against modernising the oaths? The National Party. They didn't support creating an affirmation. They didn't support enabling us to say either the oath or the affirmation in te reo. And for them at that time, reading through the Hansard, it was all about republicanism. We were on the path to republicanism. And that seemed to be their biggest issue for not supporting, after 48 years, a piece of legislation that this Parliament supported. It was a government bill. Labor led that process. And I just can't, for the life of me, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, see why the National Party won't support the piece of legislation that Marama Fox has brought to this House that will enable the Select Committee to fix up any issues, but at the end of the day, give us the choice as New Zealanders to pledge allegiance to the Treaty of Waitangi. We could get rid of the principles then. Let's all just have an ability to pledge allegiance to Te Tiriti o Waitangi. So I'll take this opportunity. I pledge allegiance to Te Tiriti o Waitangi. Kia ora tātou.
Mr. Speaker.